Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Jennifer Wakeman. On tonight's episode, we are going inside PPL's Montour facility in Washingtonville, and the tour starts right now. For nearly 40 years, the two units at PPL's Montour facility have been burning coal to generate electricity. Michael Monroe, the plant manager, helped us follow the coal's path on its way through the plant. Coal comes into the facility on PPL-owned rail cars. The plant can handle up to 130 cars at a time. With each one holding about 100 tons of coal, that's nearly 13,000 tons. I know it sounds like a lot, but consider this. Each unit at Montour can burn up to 275 tons of coal an hour. Rail cars are unloaded by the rotary car dumper. This marvel of engineering can unload an entire rail car in 2 minutes. Watch this. Clamps at the top hold the rail car in place as it and the track rotate and dump the coal. All of this is done without uncoupling from the train. Huge hydraulic pistons pull the cars through the thawing shed on their way to the dumper. The thawing shed is 500 feet long and contains electric heating elements which thaw frozen coal to allow it to be dumped. As you can see, the coal is in large chunks when it comes out of the rail car. It travels along a conveyor belt into the crusher where it is broken down into pieces about 3/4 of an inch in size. From here, it either travels up into one of the coal silos for each unit, or it is stockpiled in the coal yard. Weather is a major factor for the coal stockpile. Mike Campbell and his crew are tasked with keeping the pile as dry as possible.
We put a lot of attention to things in our coal pile, more so in the fall, for winter prep. Because if we get a few days where we don't get a train in, but we're getting a lot of snow, we have to have that pile as good as it can be for us to get through that day or two without a coal train delivery. Because we know the coal on that pile isn't going to be as good as train coal.
While preparing for rain, they are also working hard to get the pile ready for winter.
So like I know that it's supposed to rain the next 2 days, so we went out and re-groomed the pile from the rain we had last night. Because we want it shaped a certain way. We want the windrows that the dozer puts on the pile to be shaped a certain way so that the drainage goes to our drainage areas.
The stacker reclaimer receives up to 3,800 tons of coal per hour on a conveyor belt from the transfer house. When stacking, it deposits the coal into long piles on either side of the conveyor. When reclaiming coal, the machine scrapes coal off the storage pile at a rate of 1,400 tons per hour. This reclaimed coal then travels up the conveyor into one of the plant's 6 silos. There are 3 coal silos for each unit at Montour. These silos feed into 6 mills at the base of the plant, which pulverize the coal into very fine powder. This powder is then used to operate the boiler. Let's let Michael Monroe explain the process from there.
So we have the coal, we saw the coal come in, the coal gets crushed. Coal goes into the boiler, and that's the building we're standing next to. It's a 10-story building with 250 miles of tubing inside. So you burn the coal on the inside, it makes heat. I have very pure water that's in all of that tubing. That water turns to steam. I take the steam, I put it through a turbine, turns the turbine. Turbine is connected to a generator. The generator makes electricity. The electricity goes out and gets used. The steam that's not used gets turned back into water. That water goes back into the boiler and becomes steam. So I got water to steam to water to steam to water to steam. And then that cooling water we're taking from the Susquehanna River is what I use through a cooling tower to take that steam after it's done in the boiler, after it's done in the turbine, and turn it back into water. That heat is what makes the water vapor that comes out of the cooling tower.
Is it essentially a closed system with the water that's in that you're using to make steam? Is that basically a closed system?
That's a closed system that never touches the water that goes out to cooling. That's another closed
That's
system.
The cooling tower evaporates about 10,000 gallons of water per minute.
If you think about a nice sized swimming pool, we evaporate a swimming pool a minute. It's a lot of water.
Inside the boiler, it's nearly 2,000 degrees. The high temperature, high pressure steam makes a very efficient steam cycle.
That's why Montour is able to produce the electricity it is. You take a unit and run for a year, that would power about 1 million homes.